Hello and welcome to Total Health with Dr. Nick, where my purpose is to inspire, empower, and motivate you to live longer, healthier, and more abundant lives. And today I've got a treat for you. It's one of my favorite comfort foods growing up in an Italian household. I think my mom many times wanted to just empty out the refrigerator and throw it into one dish. But this is something that I think you're going to love, and it's called a frittata. And for those of you who know what a frittata is, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But those of you who are new, a frittata basically is a big omelet, and the omelet has in it anything you want. So I'm going to be putting in some really great ingredients today, some really wholesome, fresh ingredients, some broccoli and some turkey bacon and so on. So I'm going to get to the ingredient list in just a moment. But like I said, this was one of my favorite comfort foods growing up as a kid because, you know, when you come home and you want to make a sandwich and you could put this on anything. In fact, you could put it on the keto cloud bread I did a recipe for just a couple of videos ago. You can make a really nice, great sandwich out of it. But you could have it for lunch, you could have it for dinner, you could have it for breakfast. I come home sometimes and I'm just starving, and I'll just grab a piece of it like a wedge, almost like a slice of pizza, and I'll eat it just like that. So this is a great go-to dinner, lunch, breakfast, snack, anything you want it to be. Guys, if you're new to my show, please make sure you like, you share, you comment, and subscribe. So let's go ahead and get started with this. So let's go over the ingredients. So I've got here turkey bacon, chopped garlic. I've got broccoli, and with the broccoli, you know, you can use anything you want. I like broccoli because it stays nice and dense, but you can use, which is another great vegetable, asparagus. Just cut it up into small pieces, maybe on the bias, a little bit of an angle, but broccoli's going in, and that's excellent. Of course, eggs. I've got a dozen eggs here, and I've got some grass-fed cheese. Just a little bit of it, not too much. Another thing I like to use in this many times, which gives a nice cheesy taste, but has really, really incredible nutritional value, and that is nutritional yeast. And so Bragg's makes a great one for that, but I'm just going to put regular grass-fed cheese in this. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I'm going to do is put a little bit of oil in the pan, and then to this I'm just going to add a little bit of butter. Once again, you want it to be keto, so you want to have some healthy fats in there. And then I'm going to start the bacon. I'm going to start the bacon first because it's just going to take a little bit longer to cook. And like I said, it's turkey bacon, so you can see I sliced it up nice and small into small little strips. I'm going to get this moving around in there. So I'm going to give the bacon a little while to cook, and then I'm going to add in the onions. And the onions, what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to get them nice and caramelized. And what that means is that they're actually going to have a little bit of color. You can make it so that they're translucent to where they're just a little bit of see-through. But I'm going to actually get them a little caramelized, because when you caramelize the onions, it actually helps them to release a lot of their sweetness, so you get a lot better flavor with that. So I'm going to let this go for just a little while longer, and then I'm going to go ahead and put in the onions. And then the garlic's going to go in last. The last thing I want to do is burn the garlic. It doesn't taste good burned. So one thing you want to do is make sure you add in the garlic towards the end, so that way it releases the flavors, but at the same time it doesn't get burned. So I'm just going to keep an eye on this for a little while longer. Stir it around a little bit. Turn up the heat a touch. And then we're going to go ahead and get the onions in here. So as you can see, the bacon's getting some really good color in it. So what I want to do now is go ahead and add in the onions. Get those stirred in. The onions are just going to sweat. They're going to release a lot of their water. Now at this point, I may choose to salt this. You want to do your seasoning in layers. And so this will be the first layer of seasoning. So I'm just going to add in a little bit of salt. A little bit of fresh ground pepper. Stir that in again a little bit. And what the salt will do is also help the onions to render their water. Because as soon as you salt anything, it's going to start to release water. All right, so as you can see, the onions are looking really good, getting nice and caramelized. So what I'm going to do at this point is go ahead and add in the garlic. Once again, I don't want to get that too overcooked. I'm going to turn the heat down just a little bit. Looking really nice, beautiful colors in there. Get it evenly distributed. I could smell the garlic already. If you guys had smell-o-vision, this would be smelling amazing at this point. Now, one thing I'd like to mention too is in the fall, I like to make a little bit more of a rustic kind of frittata. And what I might do is add in some chopped up chicken that I maybe roasted or pan sauteed, but I'll also love to use rosemary. And if you could take fresh rosemary, rosemary is just amazing. It smells like the fall. It smells like pine. And I'll take this and take the little leaves off, just like that, chop them up fine, and put that in there too. And it really gives a great fall flavor, which is one of my favorite things to do. So I'm going to let this go for just a little while. I'm going to turn the heat down even more now. In fact, I'm probably just going to turn it off, because now with the heat off, I can add the eggs in. This is looking beautiful. Everything has just got the best color to it. I'm going to spread it around evenly, because when it's even, I get more even distribution on the bottom. And that way, when you go to cut the slices, you're going to have it where you've got a nice amount of garlic, a nice amount of onion, and broccoli, bacon, all in the same bite. So now I'm going to go ahead and beat up these eggs. Get this going. Now to this, I'm going to go ahead and add the broccoli. But actually, before I do that, I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper to the eggs. Once again, this is another layer of seasoning. You know, think of it this way. What you want to do is add seasoning to everything you put in the dish. So when you do that first layer, season that. Second layer, season that. So that way you're not, you're making sure you're seasoning everything properly. All right, so the eggs are mixed up. I'm going to go ahead and put the broccoli in there. You notice I didn't cook the broccoli first. I don't want to do that. I want the broccoli to be cooked so where it's more al dente and not overcooked. So I want to make sure that that's cooked at a different speed, and that's just going to cook while it's in the oven. So now the broccoli's mixed in. I'm going to pour this in there very gently, because you want to make sure that you don't move around all the bacon, onion, and garlic. So with a spatula, I'm just going to make sure this is evenly distributed, making sure there's broccoli in all the corners. Just like that. Then what I'm going to do is go ahead and take my cheese and sprinkle it on top. Now, if you choose to use cheese or not, it's your choice. But one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on top so it actually makes a layer on top. But you could also mix it right in with the eggs and the broccoli, so that way it's more internal. But I'm just going to put this right on top. Oop, one tried to escape. Can't have that. And this is a grass-fed cheese I get. It's called a Dubliner cheese, and it's a cheese that Kerrygold makes. So it's grass-fed. Make sure that you're getting all the right omega-3 to omega-6 ratios. You've heard me talk about that a lot, to make sure that you're not causing inflammation in the body. So now this is done. This is now just going to go in the oven. As I said, it's going to go to the oven at 350 degrees for about 20-25 minutes. Just keep an eye on it, because different ovens, of course, are different. They cook at different temperatures. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this in, and we're back in just a little while, and we're going to test this bad boy out and see just how good this is, all right? Don't go away. Stay tuned. Be right back. All right, so the frittata is out of the oven and is looking really good. Let's have you guys take a look at this. So that is looking beautiful. You can get it a little bit more golden if you do, but if you do that, it's going to end up overcooking the inside a little bit, so this is perfect. What I do is I take it out and I just press on it, make sure the egg is firm, and that's good to go. So I'm just going to let this cool, and what you'll notice as it cools, it'll start to pull itself from the sides of the cast iron skillet, and then I'll be slicing it up like a piece of pie. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and plate this up. It's cooled, so we're going to see how this looks. And because everything was sauteed first, there's a nice layer of oil and butter at the bottom, the caramelized onions, so that makes it slip out of the pan real easily. Look at that. Look at that, how perfect. Wow. That looks beautiful, all right? That's what it's supposed to look like. You've got nice caramelization at the bottom. The eggs are cooked all the way through. The broccoli is going to be nice and al dente, so it's not overcooked. So guys, go ahead and try this out. Let me know what you think. I guarantee you're going to love this one. This is going to be an absolute crowd pleaser. You're gonna love it for snacks, you're gonna love it for dinner, for lunch, breakfast, whatever you want it for. And like I said, maybe put some cloud bread over it. Cloud bread, make a nice sandwich out of it. When I was growing up as a kid, that's how we always had it, except my mother usually put potatoes in it, but you don't want that on a keto diet. Anyway, guys, I hope you liked the video. If so, make sure you like, you share, you comment, and subscribe. And once again, thanks so much for helping my channel grow by leaps and bounds. I have you to thank, and I love and appreciate you for that. So anyway, this is Dr. Nick. Make sure you subscribe, watch our other videos over here, and you guys have a blessed day. Bye-bye.